Measuring DE&I initiatives. So the spoiler alert here is that we don't think there needs to be any change to everything I've just said when it comes to measuring DE&I initiatives. Good measurement work applies to DE&I initiatives just like it did in the context that we were talking about previously. But there are a couple of things that we want to call out. So, for example, work measuring DE&I initiatives in our work so far has looked like really focusing on the who. So nonprofits who are doing incredible work in this area are able to speak to the end beneficiary of their work very clearly. And as funders, asking about the who is really critical. So focusing on who ultimately benefits from this program in terms of demographics. And also in terms of the kind of outcomes. So who ultimately experiences reduction in academic disparities or improvements in safety and inclusivity or more equal representation, et cetera. So asking and focusing on the who is really critical in measuring DE&I initiatives. Also, just like we talked previously, making sure that you're working with your nonprofits to define their goals, help them gather the right information. And by the right information, what I mean is that impact data, calculating your claim as a funder, and then coming back and refining those goals once again. So making sure you're focusing on the who, and then working with your nonprofits to gather all of the right information about the impact so that you can speak to and they can speak to who ultimately is impacted by that work. Sometimes we get questions about, gosh, we do work that's important and critical to be supported, but it's difficult for us to be really specific about our end beneficiaries and those demographics. So often we're supporting nonprofits in extrapolating that information through census quick facts, through some historical data that they might have available. Also, third-party studies are an excellent source for some of this kind of demographic information. I think the thing that I respect most about our guidance for measurement is that we work really hard to avoid the precision trap. I think if all of us in the measurement space were so focused on the perfect, we wouldn't get anywhere close to the good. And what we feel like is it is good enough to be able to estimate some of the percentages that you might need to provide to funders, as long as it's evidence-based. It is good enough to extrapolate out figures if you can base it on evidence. So we wouldn't want folks to feel like they can't speak to their impact because they don't have that double-blind study to speak to.